Retirement, I think about this time last year you announced retirement. You did the round ball. What's life been like, and what have you been up to?
I've I've been a glorified chauffeur, and I just pretty much taking kids to school, picking them up, being full-time dad, which is something that I have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old now, so something I haven't really been able to do over the years, but that's pretty much it. I get in the gym from time to time. Beat up on some middle-aged men, but that's about it.
Has it been for you? Has it been an adjustment? A guy that's always on the go?
Yes, really was. It was hard to let go of the game. It's been my identity for so long, and I never had a problem being one of those guys that basketball is who I am. A lot of people always say, I'm more than this or I'm more than that. That's fine, but for me, basketball really is the essence of my being.
And when you left here, Keith, I was talking to Gary, you were a top 5 scorer, I think.
Six.
Okay.
I wish I was top 5.
What, when you come back here, do those memories, do you still get the tingles? Do you still get the smell or whatever, whatever you want to call it?
I do, and it's funny because the older I get, the more intense it becomes. So when I first left, I always appreciated it, or, you kind of use it as a, it's more of a talking point, but now it's like, you really understand the accomplishment. I really understand the accomplishment. I really understand the level of consistency and work that it took to achieve that.
You had a chance a few months ago to get inducted into the Hall of Fame for Olympia Milano. What was that experience like, going back to a team that you contributed a lot to?
Yeah, it was a bit strange at first because something I really didn't expect because it took me back to originally, the thought of going overseas, in the early 2000s was very, very, it was just a negative stigma attached to overseas. Maybe it still is now, I'm not sure. Wasn't very well informed, but to really turn that unknown into a Hall of Fame type career, man, it was a special experience, and I was glad to be able to go back and do it.
What did you speak to the team about? I think Coach said you spoke to him.
Yeah, it's funny because Coach always will put the old guys on the spot, man, when they come back. He won't prompt you at all to be prepared to speak. But really, and the message is always the same as it was last summer when I saw the guys. And it's always, run your own race. Some guys are going to be one and done. Some guys are going to go to NBA. Some guys are going to go to G League. Some guys may go to Europe. But it's, what road fits you best, and it's like really not worrying about what the next man is doing on your team or on the other team. Run your race, do your job, and you'll let things fall in line.
Did you get to play with him this week?
Listen, I told it's funny because DeJuan kind of made a joke about it, asked me if I was going to play with him. I played last summer in preparation for the TBT, and that probably was my official retirement, playing against. I knew that I'm really not at this level anymore. I'm done. So while I was at camp, though, I got out there with a couple of the young camp coaches and some of the older guys. So that's my lane now, the middle-aged men basketball. So
you watch the team. What's your scouting report on all the new perimeter players?
Just one thing, the coach has options. Coach has plenty of options. There's a lot of room for improvement, and I think the one thing with the portal and things like that is just you have to you can't really account for performance, and this is one thing to perform somewhere, but how does that transfer? How does that incoming guy do it under the lights of KU? And so it's really hard to gauge that, but one thing that I do know is the guys are proven in Power 5 conferences, and I like that.
What's it like to be the guy that is asked to come back and talk to the team these days now? What's it like to be that guy?
Well, it's interesting because, first of all, like I said, the coach never asks. He just puts you on the spot and asks you and says, hey, tell the guy something. But really, the thing is it's interesting to watch the different guys receive the message, right? Because everybody won't receive it the same at the same time. So some guys will take it in the moment. Some guys will circle back maybe when the season isn't going as well. Some guys may circle back after their career here is over with. And so there's different degrees of it. So and I've experienced that over the years. And so it's interesting to kind of speak and then watch the guys and look into their eyes and see which ones are kind of yeah, you know, I hear old head talking, but you know, it's this and this, and so it's just that's always an interesting dynamic. But the good thing is that I'm here, I have an abundance of information, and I'm always willing to help.
If they would have had Portal, would you still been a 4-year Jayhawk?
You know what, man, this guy is great questions, man. It's good. So look, all right. So to answer that question, one, if I had to do over again, I definitely would have left school after sophomore year, after that second Final Four, just because, you know, obviously I have a better understanding now of, like, you know, when you are hot, so to speak, or a popular player, you should enter the draft. But at the time, based on what I felt emotionally as a player, yes, I probably would have been in the portal. But now as an adult and looking back on it, I think that would have been a mistake to do so. So I'm glad the portal wasn't there and I was able to stay and finish, because this dynamic, you know, I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else.